Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya. In this 15th day reading of Sri Viveka Chudamani, the first topic we are going to cover is about the Adhyasa. Atranatmanyahamiti mati bandha yeshosya pumsaha प्राप्तो ज्ञान जनन मरण क्लेश संपात हेतु येनैवायं वपुरिदमनः सत्यमित्यात्मबुद्ध्या पुष्यतुष्यक्षत्यवति विषयैस्तन्तुभिः कोशकृद्वत्. So this actually starts the answer of what is bondage. Asya pumsaha atra अनात्मनि जनन मरण क्लेश हेतु अहम इति मति. So in non-self, assuming self in there, misidentifying non-self as self, which is the reason for birth, death and all the related kleshas or difficulties. Ajnanat praptaha, it has arrived from the non-apprehension of reality. Yesha bandhaha, this only is known as bondage. Yenaiva ayam idam vapuhu, by which a body, a sariram, is considered as self, with that limitation. Idam vapuhu, ayam idam vapuhu satyamiti. There is a consideration of this is the truth. Atma buddhya vishayaihi tantubhihi, thinking that the body is the self, then accusations around atma buddhya vishayaihi tantubhihi, then creating a net around it with this sense pleasures around it. Kosakrudvat, just like a spider creating its own net. Pushyati, it is actually being, the ignorance is being nourished using this. Ukshati, it is being watered. Avati, it is being protected, it is being watered and grown using this bondage alone. Atasmin tad buddhihi prabhavati vimudhasya tamasa Viveka bhavadvai sphurati bhujage rajjudhishana tatonardhavrato nipatati samadhatu rathikaha tatoyo sadgrahaha sahi bhavati bandhasrunu sakhe. In this sloka, Shankara actually addressing the disciple as a friend, sakhe. Tamasa vimudhasya atasmin tad buddhihi. So by this enclosing power of tamas, which we have discussed yesterday, viveka bhavadvai viveka abhavad vai spurati bhujage rajjudhishana. So just like a snake appears in the rope by non-discrimination, tataha samadhatuhu, once taken by this thought, adhika anarthavrata, so many other difficulties are arising. Tataha yaha asadgrahaha sabandhaha. He sakhe, isn't it? So, taking asat as sat, taking anatma as atma, is the only thing known as bandhaha. Isn't it, O friend? Is asking Shankara to the disciple. Akhanda nityadvaya bodhasikya spurantamaatmana mananta vaibhavam samavrunotyam samavrunotyavrutisakti reshaha tamomayi rahurivarka bimbam. With an example, tamomayi, this tamas is enclosing Rahu like a shadow enclosing the sun, like a solar eclipse. At the solar eclipse, the shadow Rahu is enclosing the sun. Akhanda nityadvaya bodhasakya, akhanda nitya advaya awareness. The awareness which is not having any breaks in between. Nitya, it is ever there. Advaya, there is no second to it. Such an awareness is always sprantam, is actually experienced continuously without any break. It is ananta vaibhavam. It is having infinite appliances, atmanam. That is the actual true self. Tamomayi, this darkness, this shadow of non-apprehension, is enclosing it. Avruta Sektihi. Just like Rahu takes and closes the Arkabimbam, like sun is being enclosed by the shadow. So it is a temporary enclosure, but in that enclosure there is something which is happening called Tirobhuta. So Tirobhute Swatman Yamalatara Tejovati Puman Anatmanam Moho Dahamiti Sariram Kalayati Tatah Kama Krodha Prabhutibhi Ramum Bandhaka Gunaihi Param Vikshepakya Rajasa Urusiktir Yadhayati Amalatara Tejovati, which is ever pure and ever bright, Swatmani, in the own self, Tirubhute Sati, is being enclosed by this shadow of ignorance, non-apprehending this ever bright self, mohat. So a temporary moha, a delusion is arised. Anatmanam, so this is giving rise to an non-self being identified as self. Anatmanam, which is the bodies, multiple bodies we discussed. Ahamiti is identified as aham, I am this body. Kalayati, so we are creating such a misapprehension. Tataha rajasa, after that misapprehension is created, the rajoguna, which is having this creative energy, rajoguna we discussed in the yesterday's, vikshepakya, it is creating so many, it is projecting so many things. Vikshepakya urusaktihi kama krodha praprutibhi, it is creating the desire, anger, etc. Bandhaka gunaihi, all those bondage causing qualities. Param vyadhayati, and it is actually creating a lot of trouble to the individual. Mahamoha graha grasana galitatma vagamano धियो नानावस्था स्वयमभिनयं तद्गुणतया अपारे संसारे विषय विषपूरे जलनिधौ निमज्जोन्मज्जायां भ्रमति कुमतिः कुत्सितगतिः. Mahamoha, so falling into this great delusion, Graha grasana, being caught by this crocodile of ignorance. Galita Atmavagamaha, one who has lost the right apprehension of Atma, Swayam Tad Gunataya, on his own, by these qualities, by considering the buddhi, by considering the buddhi as the self, or by the intellect as the Nana abhinayan, in going through multiple avasthas, acting through this abhinayan. Abhinaya is actually action. Kumatihi, by the mind being deluded, which is kumatihi, which is polluted basically. Kutsita gatihi, so going in the loops, going in the not going the straight way, going vishaya vishapure, getting on to the accumulation of physical or the vishayas, each individual vishayas. We know again these vishayas earlier. Apare samsare jalanidhau ayam nimajya unmajya. So in this endless ocean of births and deaths, he is dipping into and going up. Nimajja is falling down into it, and Ummajja he is floating and Nimajja and Unmajja he is floating and going underneath that water again and again. So with another example, again the same thing is being explained. Bhanuprabha sanjanitabhrapankti bhanum tirodhaya yatha vijrumbhate atmodita hankruti ratmatattvam tadha tirodhaya vijrumbhate swayam. So here the explanation is being given how something which is produced by itself can cause enclosure capacity of the same thing. Like sun's power only is creating clouds, the big array of clouds. Bhanun tirodhaya, they are enclosing the sun itself. Yatha vijrumbhate atmodita hankruti ratmaratattam. By the Atma, by the self alone, this ego is produced. Ahankruti is produced by the ego. Ego is produced by the Atma. But ego is uncovering the Atma. Tada dhirodhaya vijrumbhate swayam. So it is enclosing, uncovering the true nature of the self and taking ownership on itself, and it is progressing. Now in the next topic, which actually gives little more clarity into this avarana and vikshepa sektis. Kabalita dinanadhe durdine sandrameghair yathayati himajinju vayurugrot yathaitan avirata tamasatman nyavrute mudabhuddhim kshapayiti bahudukhais trivas vikshepa sektihi. So again, Sandra Meghai, like very dark clouds, Kabalita Dinanadhe, the sun is enclosed. Durdine, on a bad day of such weather, Ugra Hima Junju Vayuhu, a cold wind which comes at that time, Yatha Yatan Yathayati, how everybody is troubled by such cold wind when sun is not there, when sun is uncovered when on a cloudy day. Avrute Mudhabuddhim, in the same way, the Atma is uncovered by the ego, and thereby the foolishness has arisen in someone. Tevra vikshepa sekti. There is a very powerful projective capacity, creative energy comes in there, the vikshepa sekti. Bahudukhaihi, it creates several different things. Kshapayati. एताभ्याम एव शक्तिभ्याम बंधः पुंसः समागतः याभ्याम विमोहितो देहं मत्वात्मानं भ्रमत्ययम्. etabhyam. There are two powers we discussed about this. Sektibhyameva, by these two energies alone, potencies alone, pumsaha bandhaha samagataha, an individual has acquired the bondage. Pumsaha bandhaha samagataha etabhyam sektibhyam eva. Yabhyam vimohitaha, deluded by these potencies, ayam deham atmanam matva, thinking that body as the self, Brahmati, the individual is going around. So, to give a complete sequence of things, now Shankara actually gives a wonderful analogy to a tree, growing tree, to this whole of this ajnana. Bijam samsmuti bhumijasyatu tamo dehatmadhirankurah ragah pallavamambu karmatu vapuhu skandho nava sakhika आग्राणीन्द्रिय संहतिश्च विषयाः पुष्पाणि दुःखं फलं नानाकर्म समुद्भवं बहुविधं भोक्तात्र जीवः खगः. So I will take this the translation given by Swami Chenmayananda. So it is good to. Ignorance is the seed for the tree of samsara. Body identification is the sprout. Desires are its tender leaves. Work is its water. The body is its trunk. The pranas are its branches. The sense organs are its twigs. The sense objects are the flowers. Different miseries born out of the varieties of actions are the fruits, and the individual jiva is the bird perching upon it. Perch upon it. So basically, the final jiva, the bird which is eating the fruits of this samsara vriksha, is the individual. It grows one by one. So the tamas is the fundamental seed, and from there it has grown with multiple things. Ragadveshas have come. These things have created different types of karmas, different type of actions. These actions are producing some results. These results are being consumed by the individual, going into the pains and pleasures of duality. The whole thing is the bondage, right from the misapprehension all the way up to this consumption of fruits. अज्ञान मूलोऽयमनात्मबन्धो नैसर्गिको नादिरनन्तैरितः जन्माप्ययव्याधिजरादिदुःखः प्रवाहतापं जनयित्यमुष्य. This is the 148 sloka of the Viveka Chudamani, which concludes the current topic of bondage. So, I am anatma bandhaha, this bondage which is caused by the non-self, anatma bandhaha, ajnana moolaha, it is having a seed of ignorance as the seed. Naisargikaha. So once the ignorance is considered true, basically once the ignorance is taken, then its nature itself is anadi, which is not having beginning, ananta, which is not seem to have any ending, iritaha, amushya, janma, Janmapya Vyadhi Jaradi Dukha, Janma, Vyadhi, Jara, Dukha, all different kinds of difficulties after the birth, whatever is coming, until the death, again recycling back into the stuff. Whole of this pravaha, whole of this flow is generated from this anatma bandha, considering anatma as atma. So we close this today's reading at this point, and we will see the rest of the grantha as days progress. Everyone, wishing everyone a happy Vijayadashami, a very auspicious day. With that, Swasti.